Video killed the radio star. We're back! Welcome to the channel, YouTubers, geeks and weirdos, friends and enemies, frenemies. How are you doing? Tooting back with another video. I've got both the lights up now. We're fucking Lecky bills, Ukraine, Russia. We're not bothered here. Patreon, they'll pay for everything. Electricity, look, if I didn't do YouTube, I wouldn't need electricity. I only do this. I only have electricity for you guys to make videos. Hope we're all doing okay. Might be a short one today. I've got two packages, I suppose, to open. Well, not kind of, one's a package, one's not. I've got two pickups from the mighty CEX. So I'll do them first, which is a bit out of kilter normally for me, because I usually do the things that I get from other people, but we'll save them till after, because this won't take long at all. So cue the CEX jingle. Baby. So these popped up. N64, got to be some Nintendo cardboard at the minute. Still on a massive Nintendo cardboard kit, guys. Oh, games R-Type on the mighty PC Engine, and as you can see up there, Lolo 3 on the twin Famicom. Still yet to play those games. Did mention that in the last video. They will get a playthrough, so I thought we'll stick Lolo. Na 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 no. I think it's Lola in it though, not Lolo. You know, I might re-release that as Lolo. The name was Lolo. What's that one? Barry Manilow. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, a couple of N64 games from CEX. But we'll get there finally. Both complete. This one I had, God, without a manual for the longest time. Couldn't find a manual. Popped up on CEX, cheap enough, and this other one as well, which I think's kind of harder to find from what I could see just looking on eBay. They're both from the same sort of store, so the same person traded these in. Although this other one is available in other stores, if that makes sense. But this one wasn't. And two genres that I did really enjoy as a sort of kid, young teenager. Probably like most people my age, kind of tailed off, especially towards the sort of late 90s, early 2000s. And it's a bit of WWF, and we've got Attitude. Not some fucking, see this era. No, I was out by now. I was out this whole Attitude era once the legends had disappeared. So like your Rock and what's his name, Stone Cold and all them lot, I've got no affiliation to them. I've got no nostalgic. I just don't think they're as good. But then again, people would say that about, you know, other things. And the other one is WCW versus NWO World Tour. So where old the Hulkster jumped ship, didn't he? But I mean, I did play. I think it wasn't World Tour. It was Revenge, and I think I must have played this. I had a lot of these wrestling games on the Z64 back then. I remember playing with my brother. Really did enjoy them, to be honest. And I think a lot of people would concur that these are quite accomplished wrestlers. Really, for the N64, and there's a lot of people that would probably say they haven't been surpassed in terms of gameplay mechanics. But I think World Tour was 20 quid, and I think Attitude was maybe 20 as well, which is good prices. Good prices, and like I say, I think that one was on there from the, like, you know, the stores had it, but must have been a slew of them traded in, and so I bagged these two because weirdly enough I think I'm only two away from the wrestling set, which is ECW Hardcore and WWF Mayhem. I think those are the only other two wrestling games I haven't got box complete. So that's hence why I thought, well, let's just bag them. I mean, this is going back ages. So they've been sat there for quite a while. So we'll do this box. This box turned up, and I haven't took my name off it because I am stupid. Because I wouldn't want any more Patreons to turn up at my house, you know, posting money through my letterbox or anything like that, you know. Or anyone sending me like, you know, some what do they call them? Marketing people giving me free games. I need that. Anyway, we have a. Yeah, there's nothing on it. We have a parcel here. So this come about because a certain individual by the name of Cojonesdeloro, who I don't think makes videos about gaming anymore. I think he's into something else, but that's not for me to say. I think he's still got his channels. I don't know. He's got more fucking channels than the Queen's got corgis. But he left a message. I think on one of them, was it? Did he message me? I can't remember. It was something off the back of not the last vid, the vid before that. And he said something about something would look good on that, and I was like, oh, he said, well, you know, it's on the list kind of thing. And he went, well, I'm getting rid of one. And he said a price, and I was like, well, I've got to buy it. I've got to buy it at that price. So he did me like he always does me stellar deals, does Daz. But he did say there's something else, and it just feel a bit heavy. He's my brother. Oh, before we move on, I am still playing Final Fantasy VII. Fucking slashy, you bastards. Disc 2 now. Disc 2. We're actually really enjoying it. And tinkering even more with the PlayStation Classic and the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2, I was going to do a video on it, but I can't get the fucking thing working. It is yeah, it's a newish thing that's come out, the PlayStation 2, but I can't get it fucking working. And I'm not daft, generally. Oh, we got Xenote. I did notice in my last vid you could see the reflection of them fucking lights. Okay, there's nothing untoward here, so I'm sure he wouldn't mind reading this out. He probably knows I'm going to read it out anyway. Hey up, Stu. Hope this paper is of interest. So yeah, that was it. He said I might put some old paper in there, hence the wait. Just a thanks again for all you've done for the community. Well, it's a shame things are not like they used to be in the golden years. Well, I mean, I said that in the last vid, weirdly enough. But I'll always remember them as some of the best times in my life. You're the last man standing, bud. All the best, your old pal Daz. Well, look, like I said, I've always just done YouTube for me. I don't do it for anybody else, regardless of, you know, how some channels operate and what their motives are. Mine has nothing to do with that. If people watch, they watch. If they don't, they don't. It's nice when people watch. Don't get me wrong. Fuck me, why don't I do playthrough videos? Because no one fucking watches them. You have to have a certain way about you and a certain setup to I think get the best out of gameplay videos. And I get people watch them. You know, Daz on about the golden years, because back then I think a lot of the channels did different things, did things differently than they do now. There seems to be like almost like a lot of the channels that you watch are kind of like going to your high street. They're all fucking just stamped all the same. You know, like you got your McDonald's, you got your Starbucks, you got this, you got that. All the shops are all the same. Everything. There's no difference. No one's got any fucking character about them. You know, they all, like I say, they all they all copy from each other. So I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe like I say, like I said last video, I'm an old fart and I should just start up old tube or something for all this old gits to go on. Leave it to the young guns. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm not even drink. I've not had a drink since, not drank since August. Maybe that's what I need. Right. So off of the old mate Daz, we got us one of these. Where are we? An OSSC. So this was always always on my mind. You're always on my mind. I'm not singing today, Stu. It's always on the radar, always in the back of my mind. And so, before, I should say, this room was even done, I had visions. I had, an idea of what I thought the room was going to look like and what was going to be in it. Clearly, I underestimated the size of the room, or underestimated the size of the room because it's just not big enough. But I always did want a panel. So when these were released years ago now, it was kind of like the missing link for a lot of people, me myself included, because it meant I could use a small panel and really take advantage of some of the old consoles and get the best picture. So even moving when this was built, sort of going through and sort of saying, okay, how are we going to do this, blah 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 blah. The OSSC was always there, kind of thinking I could use my old panel, I could do this, I could do that. But how things panned out, it just didn't. It wasn't viable. And I kind of started to go down the sort of CRT route then, anyway, which you all know. But with this screen here, obviously I can still utilise the OSSC. Now, I'm not sure, and I get like this is all new to me. I'm not really sure how these things perform in terms of old and new panels. Does it matter? Is it just HDMI anyway, so it doesn't really matter? I don't know. All right, so I'll be tinkering with it, and like all the stuff with Daz it's literally like fucking brand new. It obviously has been used. It has been used. We know it's been used, and it's tight. I didn't realise it was small. It's all let's say I really didn't realise how small it was. It is tiny. Size of your hand. Yeah, it does have to be powered. So, again, anyone who's got one of these, does it matter? Does make the quality, the build of the LCD, the HDMI output, does it matter? I'm guessing it is in terms of a quality screen. I mean, if you've got some sort of like cheap fucking Chinese panel, it looks shit. But I mean, that's Sony, so I don't know. 4K is not going to be a thing, is it? Really? I mean, 1080p is probably going to be enough for most games to be upscaled or to be displayed. But I don't know. It's literally all new. It's a whole new world for me. But it like I say, it opens doors, and especially again when I alluded to getting that Sony there, it's just with the age of some of these CRTs and stuff and them crapping out and whatnot. It's a really good alternative, and it has been for a while. There's loads of these scanline converters and stuff like that, retro tinks and all kinds of stuff. Other manufacturers are available, and that's a Kaiko. Is it Kaiko? Kaiko edition. What you've got to remember is no one owns. I've seen a few posts. No one owns the rights to the OSSC, which is it's literally open source. So anyone sort of says it's not official, it's a Chinese knockoff. No such thing as a Chinese knockoff. They're all knockoffs because it's open source. Anyway, enough of that. Right, some magazines. What's he sent me? Some Pano. Oh, yeah, I did see these. I'm surprised he bought these, to be honest. It's not really my thing, Daz, but I can appreciate them. And I think I know why he's bought these or where he's got these from. So, Daz is an avid watcher, viewer of Bithead, who, let's face it, has gone down as shit. About the last 2 years at least, it's slowly gone downhill. He's just a stand-up show. I said this to Rob. I said he's not a gaming channel anymore. He's literally a social commentator, stand-up social commentator. As soon as you just picture, I'll switch it off. He's just not. I don't watch gameplay, essentially. I said even from him, but it doesn't interest me. And unfortunately, he's gone down that route of just chasing subs, trying to get money, Patreon, yada yada, and looks like he's just burning himself out. Let's be honest. Anybody's watched him for any amount of time, he's running out of ideas. He's, you know, he is still hilariously funny, but it's yeah, the content is wearing thin. I think he's getting to the end of his rope. But, and I'm not going too much into his psychological tactics on his audience, the people that watch him, and how he goes about doing it. But anyway, long and short of it is, he was featured in one of these magazines, and Daz has sent me 3 of them here. I think it's a UK magazine. It's not really my thing. I get what it is. It's kind of like this niche, retro, revamped kind of stuff. It's called Cool Shit Magazine. And I think Bithead was in one of these, and obviously the guy who did this sent it over to him. You know, obviously to sort of feature Bithead, and obviously for Bithead to start fucking trying to sell his thing. But yeah, appreciate the offer, Daz. It's not some I would have bought myself, because I've like these are 2021 at £7 each, because I'm not collecting any more magazines than the ones I'm already going for anyway. And I've put these very much akin to like the retro gamers and that. It's not for me. It's more for me. It's more nostalgia. But they are, you know, I'm sure that they are cool. It's like they're like coffee table things, aren't they? And but yeah, they got some like wrestling. I'm sure someone might want. I can find homes for them. This is like a wrestling one. So wrestling's super popular. We've got WrestleFest there and stuff. That's an Axley, weird enough Axley. I don't know, what's this one? I don't know. I mean, they're nice, it's really nice quality, don't get me wrong. Yeah, and it's just a throwback with a bit of everything. Pop culture, that's probably the word I was looking for. Pop culture, you know. But yeah, no, not for me. Gaming, movies, virtual reality, skate culture, and collectibles. That's what it says down there. Yeah. 6, 7, 5, 6, and 7. I'm shooting Bithead's in one of these. I wasn't really that interested in reading it. I wasn't that interested when he was shown on his channel, to be honest. It's just people leeching off people, and I know other people don't see that. Well, I just see it standing on the shoulders of giants. The guy's done that. Obviously wants to use him as leverage to sell his magazine, which, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. But Daz, OSSC, brother, man, appreciate that deal big time. It will get a use. I will find a use for it. And like I say, I'll try it on that panel first. If it's not up to par, and I know there's a lot of configuration, a lot of pissing about. Not a lot. Initial, that's probably the word. Initial configuration setup on those. And once you get it, it's pretty good. And I think a lot of the sort of settings can be applied to different consoles. Not all, but some and most. So yeah, might be able to fully take advantage of that panel. Right, I need a slurp, not of beer. Right, the last thing. What time are we on? 18. About right. So in the last vid, I mentioned we ended Kev's box. Unfortunately, Kev's box is dry. We've sucked him dry. Now, I have got, and I've had this a while, something off another tuber. This is since last year. And I've only... I mean, I've had it since last year, but I've only just squared up with him. So I didn't want to sort of be presumptuous or take the piss and start showing some of this stuff off when I hadn't really even paid for it, because I just don't think that's quite right in that sense, generally. Unless it's off my mate Fob, he always looks after me, and I can just pay him back in about 20 years' time. But this has come from Big Game Al. Now, there's a story here, because what I've got is it's not a box. It's this Sports Direct bag. Now it's kind of like well worn, and Al did tell me that this is the bag that, and it's even got his receipts in it from it still. Sports Direct. So this is the bag that he used to, when he used to do football, he used to put all his footballs in there. And I think cricket. So that's what I used to keep this in his boot of his car with all his balls in. So this is Big Game Al's ball bag. So we've got a purse hands in Big Game Al's ball bag, and see what we can find.
More testicles mean more iron.
The things I fucking do. Right, so there are some things in here. I'm not going to do the whole thing. We'll get a few bits out, and then we'll save it for the next video. It's not a Kev's box. Don't worry. It's not that. Well, you've seen how big the ball bag is. It's not massive. Alan hasn't got a big ball bag. It's a reasonable sized ball bag. So first up to the first up to the hockey is. So we've got the Codemasters, the Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy. So there are 2 editions. These are what they call unofficial, because they're done by Codemasters. Obviously, they haven't got the licensing and stuff like that from Nintendo. But there are 2 versions for every Codemasters one. The pass-throughs, and we may have some pass-throughs. Should we see if we can dig a pass-through out? And here we go. Case in point, Micro Machines. This is the pass-through cart. So essentially what you do, as it suggests there, normal NES onto that into the NES, and away you go. So it literally uses the NES chip code, I think, to program it. Not really a fan of these, to be honest, but you know, they're needed. They're needed. Do this one, Gradius. I'm going to swap these over from out. Yeah, Gradius. Fantastic shooter. Nemesis Gradius. Fantastic. Fantastico. So again, like in the last vid, this is pushing me closer and closer to that full UK PAL NES. And I need to do some research, because I need to try and be as accurate as I can in terms of what constitutes UK releases, and that's a minefield in and of itself. Next up, we will show you. We'll do this one. These are, because I can't tell what these ones are. Super Adventure Quests. And obviously that's Dizzy on there, so that's Dave. Played games badly, his favourite. I'm guessing these are just ports of Codemasters 8-bit games, the micro games. Is that Cosmic Kid? Cosmic Space? No, it's not. I don't know. Looks like some Australian kid. And that looks like a knight. Or is it the one of Dizzy's Magic Adventures? I don't know. I really don't know. Answers down below. Look there. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. I'll tell you what, we'll do this and then we'll call it. So, also off of that. So, essentially, this deal was done before he even went down to see Alan. And because he was selling his NES set off, I picked a few bits that I needed. I missed out on a couple of bits because I wasn't moved in here and I didn't know what I was missing because I couldn't get to my games. So a few things I did miss out on. But like I say, the long and short of it is he looked after me, hooked me up and stuff like that. So when we went down to see him, he sort of said, "Oh, I forgot to send you this," when he sent me these games through. And it's a nice box, Kickle Cubicle. So it was just a box. So I upgraded my box, which I do believe I got from Retro Dave Nintendo, Retro Arcade Console Gaming Dave Nintendo. But yeah, this box from Al was a massive upgrade. All the flaps intact. I think it had the manual, or did I already have the manual? I can't remember, but it is complete. 25 minutes. We're going to call it there. We're going to save Al's ball bag for next week, so we don't waste it, because it's going to take me ages probably to put that little clip together. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, so it'll be future Tootie will come up for something. Right, guys, I'm going to call it there. So take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye. Fucking thing work.